I was wrong. It creeps on back through color glass, through color glass. I'll paint out the sun again to say I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. Come with me. I'm here once again, and I'm dealing, I'm feeling the pain. So who takes the fall again? Come with me. Come with me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday, which was pronounced very silly by me. Anyway, July 23rd, 2017. let's get back to the work. Okay. So, yeah, I thought I already had this open. Whoops. And for Mir had a song request earlier, which is one of the benefits of joining us live. Can't really request a song after it's already uploaded to YouTube. Kind of hard. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay. Actually, I should probably check one thing first. Good, okay. So I'll make sure that the Slack wasn't still running and I'd end up having like NDA pop-ups occurring or something like that. I should turn up the line a little bit. Or a lot. Really like this song personally. So what we're working on right now is a red carpet to go down through there. After that we have to deal with pillars going up, a bit of a roof or something to make it look like part of a castle. And then we have to do a cathedral. And then that'll be it for cross streams. That's weird. Yeah, it's cool. So it'll be on Blender right now. It goes here. Yep, that's definitely it. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to select all of these to fill in this gap here. Then we're going to merge them all and remove duplicates, as in weld vertices together. So in order to do that, we need to select one vertex here. Actually, the other way around. No, let's do it like that for now. There we are. Then we deselect these. Then we deselect these. Deselect. I had an easy way of doing it, I can't remember anymore. Welcome to the chat. At some point it'll be good just to do it like that. Okay, now we can drop the volume so you can hear me speak. It's around here, let's say. It's a bit more than I normally give for volume, but why not? I think I've found a way of doing it that reliably picks the vertex here, not there. Or I intentionally miss, but the closest one I can grab is the one in the corner.
Ready, set, go.
We're getting close. Or not. There. And yes, we're gonna clean up the material, the mesh, a lot. But it's easier just to delete using decimate than it is to, and coplanar than it is to get it to work on a scale that you want to, at least for me. Soon I'm going to grab them individually. There we go, let's do that right now. And that hole is filled. Now we gotta do the same on this side. Then we're going to decimate it to remove invalid vertices. Then we're going to combine them so that way it flows nice. Well, first we're going to delete some of the invalid ones already, because I know this is going to hang out a little bit over the edge. So we should add it to hang out, and then delete the ones that, yeah, you'll see what I mean in a second. Yeah, let's do it like this, sure, why not? Hey, Lazarcat. Welcome to the chat. In case people are unaware, the policy I kind of have and almost always follow, and I screwed up a little while ago, was if you're in chat, I'll say, hi, welcome to chat, but I'm not going to say you by name, because I know if you're just lurking, I just want to have a nice stream, right? But if you speak in chat, I'll take that as license to say you by your name, so in this case, it's not in chat, so it's good. So if anyone is just kind of lurking in chat and wants to have me talk to them by name, then just say something. If you just want to lurk, just lurk. Okay, so I'm working on a game that's like chess, but not quite. Actually, significantly different from chess. It's called Check It, and I'll show you in just a second. Just got a couple more things to do. There we are. So we're working on a decoration. It's not going to be as many polygons when we're done. This is just for convenience. So if we open up menu level, main menu, current lobby, let's do cross streams. So I said it's like a chessboard. You can see, but you notice there's 3 spawns, and chess only has 2 people, right? Like Fire Emblem, not really. I haven't really played Fire Emblem though, so I'm not sure what the idea behind it is, but it is a turn-based strategy with tiles. I've seen Fire Emblem played, but I haven't actually played it. So the idea is that everything is within your king range. So you can move the queen up to the end of the king range here. And you notice the 2 knights here are at a range. So what you have to do is you have to move the king in that direction. And after the AIs or other players make their moves, the area control is going to follow the king, which means you need to bring your king with the army until it's eventually in range of your piece. So here, here, here. But this guy's out of range, so I can't grab him as hard as I try, right? I guess I should drop the volume down a little bit on Monster Cat. There we are. Okay, and yeah, so the queen can now move up to here, because the king moved up as well as over. The queen can move up to there, though. And what we're at right now is a 6 o'clock spawn. There's a 3 o'clock spawn that is symmetric. Here. So it's controlled by AI, so everything is diagonally symmetric. And the idea is you move around the level and pick up pieces as you go. The bigger the more pieces you pick up, or the more pieces you kill of the enemy that are stranded, the more strong your army will be. But the slower it'll be as well because you have more pieces to move. Pieces like queens can move really quickly, so that's not a big deal. So queens, rooks, and bishops, if you're not stuck, in diagonal or straight corridors, will move really quickly. Knights and pawns, not so much. You may want to leave those behind, maybe, or maybe not, right? So it's here and here. Oh, and by the way, there's a cute little waterfall I have over here. So basically, the idea is that this is like a level that they kind of just cut like straight down the side, and some of the water's kind of falling. And there's a 3rd spawn all the way up here. And this spawn is asymmetric. So if you want to have a good competitive match on this map, it's probably going to be 6 o'clock versus 3 o'clock spawn. But another possible one, which I'm going to try to balance, is where the 2 on the outside gang up on the castle. How did I get hosted by Epic? So basically, Unreal Alexander recently left, but before he did, he had a if you're he said on Twitter, if you're anyone streaming Unreal Engine 4 developments, get in contact with him, and then when you are when you're streaming, they set you on your auto host list. So if no one's on Unreal Engine and you're the next available Unreal Engine 4 streamer on that list, then it'll switch you on the Unreal Engine channel. So you can watch developers do their thing. There's a bunch of people doing it. I believe Amanda Bott is the one doing it now. Could be wrong though. I'll have to check on that. But yeah, you talk to community managers and they'll add you to the auto host list if they, if you're doing Unreal Engine 4 development. So this is the one main level. Another level is King's Court. There's going to be 3 in the demo. Hey, no problem. There's going to be 3 in the demo. The AI, there's a UI, it's just placeholder, it's just UMG. I'm probably going to make an actual 3D UI at some point though. But the idea is that everything up to the proof of concept demo is done on stream, so there hasn't been any development done off stream. I mean, I've been looking for bugs and stuff like that, but I haven't actually been... I never fixed the bug off stream. I always, make a note and then do it in next stream. So the idea behind this one is that there's 8 spawns. You can assign it however you want. It can just be this person, or it could be this person versus this person, or this person versus this person, or these 2 on one person, then 6 other people. Yeah, 6 other people all have 1. So 4 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2, or it could be these 4 versus those 4, or whatever. There's so many ways you can set up this level. But the catch is that every 10 turns, a ring of the level disappears, and anything on it dies. So the idea is you want to keep center, which makes it very easy because this tile is disabled, this tile is disabled, this tile is disabled, and this tile is disabled. So in order for people to bust in, they kind of have to trade with you. Make some interesting tactics. The AI is not smart enough to know that just yet, by the way. It's a bit of a gimmick map, but at the same token too, gimmicks can be fun. And if you have a fun gimmick, why not, right? I'm hoping at some point to make it VR as well, so you're able to, basically like teleport and look around the level as if it was you're some sort of, omnipotent hand looking over and playing an actual board game in a virtual space. Should be the explosion very soon. Maybe 2 more turns, maybe 1 more turn. Which is funny because when I first designed it, each of these tiles is individual. So it's one actor, one actor, one actor. So each of them is 2 draw calls, because one's for the mineral material in the air, one's for the aura. Aura, like this thing right here, which when you select is a light blue. When you, select, like when you hover, it's a light blue. When you select, it's green. Dark blue for places you can move. Red for places you can eat. Is Unreal Engine 4.17 out? Not yet. They published the preview recently. Probably this one's gonna make it explode. So I'm guessing red's gonna die. Yep, red's dead. Oh, that one's gonna die too. There we go, now we have significantly fewer players. As a matter of fact, green's the only player that has both their kings left. And now let's keep fighting. In another 10 turns, this ring will get destroyed. And I'm actually gonna, like the waterfall effect, have the map break apart. But as I was saying, it's funny because I was talking about design ideas recently for some reason, and when I first designed it, I'm like, well, the camera's going to be facing down, so it'll only see a handful of tiles anyway, so 2 draw calls per tiles, when you could see, like, 50 of them at a given, or, let's see how many. Like, this is pretty much as much as you'd be able to see, so, maybe more, but yeah, so 1, 2, so it's 11 by 11, so maybe like 100. So I guess, let's say 200 or 300. Let's say 300 tiles at once. That'd be 600 draw calls, not a big deal. Even in VR, 300 draw or 600 draw calls, not too big deal. Unreal Engine can kind of take like 5,000 to 6,000 before the frame rate starts to plummet. So why not, right? That's great. Well, then at some point it was discussed that maybe we want to do this in VR, where you can actually like hover and be able to move things, as I said. There's 2 interesting properties of VR though. One property is that you can't control where the viewer is going to be looking, because if you limit the view when it doesn't align with where their head's pointed, they're going to get motion sick. And the second constraint is that you need to have as few draw calls as possible, because you need as high a frame rate as possible, because otherwise they get motion sick. So inability to control the camera and need few draw calls, those are mutually opposing constraints. So at some point I'm going to have to redo cross streams. Probably group the tiles in the groups of 8x8, so 64 at a given point in time. There is controller support. So I'll just see. It's been a while since I opened my Xbox controller, so let's see if it registers. Oh, it does. Okay. It's very easy to get controller support in Unreal Engine. Just make sure you have the values. My hope was to have PC controller, PC, Windows and Linux, potentially Android through Vulkan, which actually the phone's in my pocket now. I get a Vulkan compatible phone for that purpose. And then you can also zoom in and out as well. So I got a Vulkan phone for that purpose. And lost my train of thought, sorry. And then afterwards it was VR looks very interesting. I don't have any VR gear at the moment besides Google Daydream, which probably won't run this. So we'll have to see about getting that. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea. So controller was a good one. I'm also playing touch as well for mobile. But now we're getting to VR, and that's going to be hopefully we're going to get to VR, and that would be a pain in the butt. So we'll see about that. So now we're making the red carpet for, excuse me, for, oh, no. Cursor slip, sorry. For up here, as you can see, like, I'll show you right here. So you're in engine. We're here like 90 FPS, then we go to the corner here and we can see the entire level. We're down to like 30. I'm being a bit gracious when I say 30 too. Up here we're like to like 20. That's not good, and the majority of it is just how many draw calls we're sending with the tiles, because it's been like this frame rate when we have a level of just tiles too. But we can solve that by clumping the meshes together, simplify the meshes as well. They're currently kind of rounded. I can actually make that quicker by like higher performance by making it flat, and then have 4 flat, 4 more flat, and 4 more flat, and then the bottom. Make it kind of like a knife edge sort of thing. It would fit the art style a bit better, considering the voxel kind of pattern we have here. Fit this a bit better, but it would also be higher performance as well. So there's that. In that case, we'll drop our triangle count significantly. Should actually remove the remix there. Come on, where's that over here? There we go. Okay. So they had the album mixes, and when I added the songs for Snowblind, I forgot to remove the album mixes. So the red carpet we're having is going to be kind of coming down from here. I also might stop my stream early. That's my plan, because I do have some stuff to do tomorrow. I am prepared for it, but still. I do have to get up early, so... Well, it's an afternoon appointment, I don't have to get up early, but... I do have to get up early to do stuff for the appointment. Anyway. You know I'm just gonna copy this here, because I only need to copy this, so... Okay, so let's duplicate this then. Now let's select this vertex here. Now let's grab there. Now let's duplicate. Nope. There we are. Again, we'll fix the redundant geometry later. I didn't do that anyway. So that's overhanging. That's overhanging. All good, okay. Now how am I gonna do this? I'm trying to visualize what geometry I'd need after I decimate it, so I can grab it. So I need to overhang there and overhang there. Oh, that's good. Okay, so that's you. Yeah, okay. Should actually save before I do this, just in case I screw up. Because that's never happened in the past before. Oops, no. Okay, I've been fine anyway. Actually, no, would it have been? May have left some verses there. Oh well. From there, it's gone now. Why are you gone? Oh, do I need this or not? I don't remember. No, I won't, because it'll go all the way down. Okay, that's good. We'll see what I mean in a second. A preview 2 is out, nice. There's a lot of interesting things in this upcoming build, like especially interested in the handwritten shader thing. That was one of the things I really liked about Unity. Don't really have much experience in Unity. Let's not, you know, let's not mislead you or anything. But what I've done in Unity, the handwritten shaders thing was really nice. I just don't really think well with a visual scripting system. It's just not, doesn't really align with my brain. Can I develop on a Raspberry Pi with 3 with Linux? Probably. I don't have one at the moment, of course. Do you mean check it? Will check it run on Raspberry Pi 3? I don't know. We're not really doing a whole lot with check it. It's not a very complex game. If I had the motivation, I could learn just about anything now. Question's kind of why would I, though. Handwriting shares, what's that? Okay, so in Unreal Engine, let's say I want to, oh, you know what, let's do this. Let's say I want to, go here. And I want to have, in this case, a world position unwrapping material, so that way any axis-aligned box would automatically unwrap. I wouldn't need to do any UV channels. Or it could be something much more simple, just like a, you know, a metal material or whatever. All this is done in visual scripting system, which is a bit on the annoying side. I would much prefer to just write it in a C-like language, where I'd have if statements and stuff like that. But but the question is, you know, how easy is it to connect nodes and stuff like that? Doesn't really, actually, what was I even saying earlier? What was the statement trying to say? Anyway, So now you can, with 4.17, you're able to write them using Epic's actual shading language, USF, and have it be in the project file. So normally you had to actually basically fork the engine in order to add your own custom handwritten shaders into it, unless it's through a material editor. But now they're doing it in projects and plugins, so it makes it a lot easier for plugins especially, but also projects to do it. If you want to do a compute shader, might also be a requisite as well. I don't know if they added all the other requirements for compute shaders recently, so I don't know if this is the last thing you need, or if there's more stuff you need as well. But this was a big part of getting, it's nice to just be able to, write some code and be like, I have world position here, I have this there, I have that there, and write some C-style HLSL. Some C-style code, and then output a color, output a metallic or specular, whatever happens to be their setup. I don't remember the structure. In Unity, it's the PBR nodes, but I can't remember for Epic. And then have it just transpile it into all the various languages that you need. You could do a custom node. Where it would, you build a type. Custom? Or maybe not. What was it again? What was it again? That's cool. Anyway, there's a node where you can place and you actually write HLSL code in there, but it won't be transpiled, it'll be taken literally, so if you want to go and OpenGL or something, like for Linux, you're kind of stuck. You'd have to write it in, write multiple nodes with, various if statement, or I think you have to do precompiler declaration to be like, if platform is this, go there, if that's there, go there. I haven't looked too much into it recently, but yeah. What was it? That doesn't matter. So that was something I was looking forward to. So it looks like all of the ones I needed to delete are gone. So we're gonna select all, let's actually do, select all faces in this, mesh here. And let's save, then we will do add modifier, decimate, planar. Then we go into object mode and apply it. And go back to edit mode. Oh. Remove double. Sorry, I thought I already did that. Removed 11,000 vertices. Now let's do the decimate planar. Apply. There we are. Oh, it got confused a little bit. So we're still down to 900 triangles. I don't know if I want to fix it or not. So let's start just by filling in the faces we need. Now we can I confuse it somehow? Okay. Let's do 10 centimeters. So we get some more. It's actually still quite a bit of distance, but that's not too much. It's, I mean, we're into meters right now. Actually, maybe a little bit less than that. Okay, there we are. Now in object mode, we're gonna grab that, go back to decimate, planar, apply. So apparently we had some degenerate geometry for some reason. Streaming software I'm using just OBS. Wow, this is all messed up. I can't make this work. No. It's hard to use Blender. It's fine, not too bad. It's just that, yeah, I had some issues with this. Well, it looks like it worked. That's not too bad. Lots of problem. Sure, why not? So let's actually hide this. There we are. That won't work. Close enough. So let's grab you 2 and then do there we are. Yeah, it works. Problems we're dealing with pretty convex n-gons. I actually like Blender. I used to use Maya. So for you, I'm gonna have to make you subdivide. And then move you there and move you there. I was hoping that Decimate would be more behaved than it was. But it wasn't. That's okay. It's still easier to just repair the mesh and actually, you know, redo it. Can't do that. Let's do there. And then here we do dissolve vertices. There we are. There we are. I guess there's a bit of a puzzle in some of these. Come on. And now you're thinking like, oh no, but don't worry about it. Will be fixed in a moment. Oh Jesus, Monster Cat 30. Let's I never heard this song before, I don't think. I finished the bottom two, but that's okay. No. Okay then, let's go from there to there. Create an edge. Actually, we can probably... There. Now let's try to dissolve this edge. There we are. What am I doing? There we are. There we are. I may have accidentally overmerged a couple of vertices, but that's okay. No, gotta do them separately, I guess. Hitting the wrong button. Okay. As you can see, 440 triangles is much smaller than the, like, what, 20,000 we had earlier. I thought the Decimate would be able to do it a bit nicer because it was all coplanar, but I was giving it kind of crappy geometry, I'm not gonna lie, so. And let's remove my movement widget. There. And then we're going to triangulate the smoother like the lower polygon version than we had earlier to, you know, make it you know. I don't know why I don't have something there. I don't think I screwed myself up with that one, but we'll see. There we go, let's do this at last. There we are. There we are. Is that right? So looks about right. So now let's try filling in the gaps here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 face. 1, 2, 3, 4 face. 1, 2, 3, 4 face. It's a bit difficult when you have things like this where there's two faces that are touching by one vertex. Oops. Then I'll have the not this one. So now we're down to 300 triangle, 385 triangles, so under 400. But we needed all those triangles earlier to define these edges in a clean way. Then you. There we are. Oh, nope. I still hit scale instead of all. Hey, Dots48, welcome to the chat. So people are just joining us. We're working on a game that's kind of like chess, but not quite. So this is a 64 by 64 map. We're not logged in the game yet, we're just kind of browsing the level, so we're just like in spectator mode right now. So this is the 6 o'clock spawn, this is the 3 o'clock spawn over here. Everything is diagonally symmetric around, well, this diagonal. So going from here up, everything is perfectly diagonally symmetric. So if you want to have a competitive game, 6 o'clock versus 3 o'clock is a good one. If you want to have a fun game, there's also a third spawn that you can add into it if you want. So you can gang up on the castle spawn, or you can have a free-for-all or whatever. Obviously it's impossible to have both of them balanced perfectly at the same time, but, you know. Well, apart from giving everyone 0 units and having everyone lose, that's perfectly balanced. It's not fun. So there's that. So we're working on, oh, thanks. So we're working on a red carpet to kind of go down underneath here so we can start making the castle. We're going to be quitting very soon for the day. And the funny thing is, I actually don't really have any attachment to chess. I'm not a big chess master or anything like that. It was just a game jam idea I had that came to me, and I'm like, well, people would find it fun. And then I had some friends that are into chess, and they're like, oh, that's awesome, keep doing it. So I kept doing it. And about 2.5 years later, here we are, almost ready to release a demo. Where everything is released on stream, or everything is developed in stream, up until a demo. There are some things like Steam API can't do without NDA, can't do that on stream probably. Maybe I can, I don't know, I have to talk to Valve on that. We're gonna have to do some UV unwrapping, not for the material, oops, because the material itself is world relative, it just automatically adjusts. Oh, wait. There we are. Missed the vertex there, sorry. The thing about Blender is that the shading always seems like everything's off axis even though it works fine. I don't know what it is. I think it's a gradient along select edges. So like this here makes it look like this is slightly off, even though it's not. I was hoping to get a build in. So I want to have a build for tomorrow's appointments. But yeah. Guess I'll make a build regardless, see if I get this asset in or not. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't really have much attachment to chess in general. Actually, I'll show you all a game, because I have a bunch of new viewers at the moment. So I'll actually start the game so you can see what control range is all about. So if you start the game, you have option of 3 maps. Again, it's a demo, a free demo, unless a publisher approaches me with other ideas in mind. So this is what it's going to look like in game, with different UI, of course. This is just kind of placeholder UMG stuff. So the idea is that everything has to take place around the control range, because you just can't have the queen going across the map and killing everything, so she can only go as far as the king can control, or whatever control piece is. Currently it's just a king. I might make a, you know, a prince or princess or some other type of character, but, you know. So as you move the king around the level, the control range moves around with it, because it's centered on it. So if you want to access these knights unstable here, because haha, horses, you'll have to... it's a turn-based strategy, so it's not an RTS. But so you see here, you can now move the knight here, 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 and here. Everyone has a move, and it kind of goes in a circle based on it. So, yeah. This is the 3 o'clock spawn, which the AI is slowly moving towards the knights to get it as well. And then we have the other spawn up here, which is the castle spawn and the 2 kings and the queen. It was originally 1 king and 1 queen, but I had a second king to allow it to make a detachment, so instead of just holding the front door, they might be able to take maybe just a king, maybe a king and a knight, maybe a king and a pawn. Probably not a king and a pawn, that'd be stupid. Maybe a king and a knight out and going and picking off, maybe a king and a rook, to go and pick off some units around the map. Because if the opponents are able to go around the map and gather all of the pieces that they have, like silver can go and grab these 2 pawns, 1 rook and 2 rook over here. Can I do Fog of War? I could. However, I don't think that Fog of War would add anything. I think it would actually detract from it. I know that Fog of War is a major element of RTS. But the point of chess is to have, and again, the gold spawn here. And they also have bishops over here, whereas blue, everything's in their castle. So they start with everything, but it's less than everyone else would have if they get everything. Now, mind you, if gold and silver start killing each other, then that'd be a different story. But I think that because it's turn-based, because it is based on position and stuff like that, at the very least, the default mode would be no Fog of War, because, I mean, let's say you move your pieces around the level, and the king moves with it. If you have Fog of War, how would you even know where you're going to engage, let alone how to engage, right? The obvious thought for Fog of War is, well, anything in king range you can see, but if you're on a 64/64 level, and you're moving your army around, and you only have an 8 range vision, what if you just keep circling each other for the entire match, right? Let alone being able to get a good position on each other. I don't think it would really contribute much. I think it's more about looking through a level, seeing what stranded units are available, either for you to get or for your opponent to kill. And then when you actually have your confrontation, make it a good confrontation. Now there's other ideas I've had, and I've actually thought about this even today. Where, let's say you have a little marker on the kings, that way you know where the kings are, but you don't know where any other units are. That could be one way to implement Fog of War, so we never quite know. Although, if anyone knows the map and they just watch every single move, they could see where the king moves, and they know what units would be there, so they'd be able to pick up, and they kind of get what units you'd pick up. There wouldn't be a whole lot Fog of War would really protect you against, apart from maybe leaving units behind. So at the very least, you'd have to tell people where the kings are. Because otherwise, you'd just be circling each other forever. Now, having Fog of War where you don't know what the king has with it, that's a possibility, and maybe that'll be an added function, or an added non-default option. But I seriously think that Fog of War would actually detriment a turn-based strategy like chess. It's something to play with if I have time and effort and all that sort of stuff. If I'm able to, effort and budget. If I'm able to dedicate, some time to go investigate Fog of War, then great, we'll try it. I'm guessing it will probably make it less fun, but who knows, right? So there's that. But, so yeah, I'm not planning Fog of War right now. It's not because I just can't do it. It shouldn't be too hard. If a, tile is disabled, then any piece on its coordinate will just be hidden. That's not a big deal. You can't hide it against a host, though. If you're playing as a server, which in in a competitive match would just be, it wouldn't be any player. It would be some server somewhere, either on the cloud or hosted by whoever hosts the event or whatever. But if you're playing client server, like more, you and your buddy are there, you can never prevent the server from knowing what everything is because the server is the authoritative state, right? So if one player's server, they'll know everything because they're the one validating everything. They need to know everything, right? So competitive, where you know someone wouldn't be able to cheat, you actually have to have a third computer or a fourth computer if it's a 3-player spawn or whatever, actually doing all the authoritative states and everyone else's client. I could do it that way, but yeah. Alternatively, I can just have no fog of war for default and have it be all about positioning and all about, you know, that kind of hard tactical elements. Now, Fog of War does have a lot of benefits, especially to a lot of real-time strategy games because, well, I mean, ask a lot of StarCraft players. It's all about information asymmetry, especially for spectator sports. That's what made Wheel of Fortune so popular. Is well, it's not so much Fog of War because there's no Fog of War in Wheel of Fortune, but in the context of even if the players know what the puzzle actually is, they're incentivized to not solve it immediately, which in turn gives the audience the ability to figure it out on their own as well, and therefore they feel smart and they like watching it. Similar idea for StarCraft, where the audience is able to see what everyone is doing, all the builders and all the little tricks and hidden units, hidden bases, and all that stuff. They're able to see everything, but the players aren't, so it gives the audience more power than the players, which is interesting for a spectator sport, right? You want to give the audience a lot of power because then they feel good watching it, right? So there is that. But then again, you have to get into tactical for check-its, so I don't know how that would work. I'm not saying no to Fog of War. If I have the time and budget, I would investigate it at the very least. But I think it would be a detriment for a game like this. Yeah, so actually it's funny as well. There is one gimmick map I have. It's called King's Court. I also have a chessboard level so people can kind of get in that, because I mean, if you make a chess style game, you have to have a chessboard so people know what's different from it, right? In this case, pawns can move sideways or backwards, and pawns can eat on any diagonal, not just forward, because there is no forward direction. Check it. What if it's a 6 versus 3 o'clock spawn? Is that forward, or is that forward, or is that forward, or is that forward? Right? You don't know. So they're all forward, right? But in this case, I showed this earlier in the stream as well. This is a game where there's 8 spawns, and it's 11 by 11 grid where there's 4 tiles disabled here, 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 and here. And every 10 full rotations of turns, a ring of the level disappears and explodes everything that's on it. I gotta move up. Because otherwise, green will get in. But now I need to move my piece up here so it won't attack me. I think it's at 10. So now I'm in the center. The AI can't get in without trading. Or without me screwing up. And since it's kings, you know that they have to get in range. Like, you can't just surprise someone. They have to get in range. Yeah, there we are. So now it's a 10 by 10 or a 9 by 9 grid. And we slowly play until it's 1 by 1. And if there's someone still alive at the end because they had the center, then they win. Yeah. There we are. So it's a bit of a gimmick. I suspect people probably won't play it too frequently. But, you know, if people get 1 or 2 good games out of it, then that's a net win for a map, right? Thank you. So we gotta try to continue to make this watertight. Oh, that's a problem. Then you. Thank you and you. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to get this done for tonight and put it in the game. So we're going to package the project. I think they changed the packaging manager in 4.16, so it should be fine to show now. It's not just going to show my entire hard drive. Yeah. New folder. Check it. 4165. Select folder, and now we're packaging for Windows Defender. And there we are. So while we're doing that, we're going to keep working on this. It's funny, so Maya is Y up, not Z up like most 3D modeling software in Unreal Engine. So one thing I did to make it, when I used to use Maya, easier on myself, I said this story before, but I switch it so it would be Z up. There was a system setting where you can do that. Thinking, okay, so I'll be using it the more, you know, not the common way for people who use Maya, but the one that interface with more 3D software. Makes sense, right? Well, no, because then the plugins that you use don't know what you're talking about because they're assuming Y up. And then if you ask for help, people are like, no, it's Maya's Y up. And you're like, no, it's Z up. I set it to Z up. And they're like, no, you can't. It's right there in the system settings, right? So I end up switching back and just be like, you know what's easier, just do what everyone else does instead of trying to make it easier on yourself by making it harder on everyone else. Have I tried Moto? I have not tried Moto. Is that even available for Windows? Yeah. Anyway, I got really good at Blender, so Probably not gonna be buying anything, you know, for it, but yeah. Cool. It's funny actually, even if someone would offer me a free copy of Maya, I'd still use Blender. And the reason why is because, well, there's a couple reasons. One is, especially if it's only out one free copy, you know, for a year or two or whatever, eventually it would be paid again, and, you know, Blender will always be free forever. But more importantly, since it's open source, if something goes wrong, or if I want to add a plugin, I have access to all the things, and the people who develop it. So either I can do it myself, or if I, you know, have a business or something, I can even commission someone to do an add-on or whatever for me. And I have made add-ons already for Blender. Still cooking, okay. So again, we're going to be shutting it down early because I have to do stuff tomorrow. But yeah. So each of these will be about 12, I think it's 12 centimeters apart. Yeah. Hopefully the decimal rounding won't be too bad. Actually, I can probably go here and just dissolve this vertex here. Or U2 merge at last. There we are. There we are. Oops. The F and G key are right next to each other. F makes a face, G grabs the vertexes and try to move them around. I want to do one of those. Yeah, it's standard. So they said I'm able to do. Okay, so it looks like my internet just dropped.